Buenos dias a todos. How are you? Well, we're still in COVID, we're face masks. We take it out like this. We are also in the second week of Lent. So our last week, we did the drawing of Moses on Mount Sinai. Let's see what we are doing this week. So if you remember last week, we looked at Moses, right? And Moses was chosen by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And they were, God was with them. God was leading them and they were wandering into the desert, right? So our drawing before was about Moses in the desert. The cloud stopped and God decided that, listen, Moses, I need to speak to you, okay? So our art today, we are looking at mixed media. Mixed media means you're using many different things for your art piece. So from here, we can see Sanai. Sanai is very rugged, it's very rough, all right? We've seen a nice clear sky. The base, I don't have a proper picture of the base, but the base was green. Okay. All right. So here's a illustration. So this is Moses, who we are looking at. And notice he's in his striped outfit, right? The Israelites, they tend to wear a bright stripe. So I wore my stripe too, right? And these are the tablets that he got from God. God's writing there, the 10 Commandments. And I hope one day you will go. I hope after this lesson, you will go and read what's the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are the laws that God gave us to live by. This is Mount Sinai. It's very rough. You see the texture. It's rough terrain. And that's where Moses went up to speak to God. And here we have the tents where all the people, all the Israelites, they were down there listening, waiting for Moses to come down, waiting to find out what it is God had to say. All right, so our last day, we did the drawing, right? So when God spoke to Moses, the people at the bottom of the hill, at the Mount Sinai, they would hear a rumbling like a thunder, and they would see the cloud. They would see the cloud. So they will see the cloud, the flashes of light, right? So first thing I want you to do is use your yellow crayon or your yellow colored pencil and just kind of put that yellow light there, signifying that cloud was every minute making noise. There was bright lights coming out from it. You can use purple and blue or purple with blue, mix it. If you have gray, you could put it with it to put it inside the cloud to give the cloud a little drama, right? Because these people, they did not see God, but they could have clearly seen his presence through the cloud. When Moses led these people to Mount Sinai, God by night took the shape of a cloud, a pillar of cloud in the night, and the day, a cloud in the day. And the people just stayed behind with Moses at the top. They followed him, right? So this cloud is very, very significant, right? And at the top of this cloud, at top of this mountain, Moses, the only man, the only human besides Jesus who saw God, sat down with God, spoke to God. Now that does not mean that it is impossible for us to do the same. And in fact, that is what we are to aspire to do. We are in Lent. This is the second week, 40 days too, because part of this art is showing you the 40 days. The 40 days is what is it? It is not just 40 days in the desert. It happened, it's a precursor. It happened with Moses. And it's a reminder to us to spend time with God. Spend time listening to him. And Moses listened and obeyed God. Okay, so you're coloring it in yellow and you're coloring it in blue. And when you color, I want you to think about that. You girls, anybody, you can talk to God. And all you have to do is listen. All right. Now, when Moses spent time with God, he came down with 2 stones, right? With the 10 commandments. And God in his greatness wrote the 10 commandments on these stones. All right. Now I gave Moses striped clothes, as I told you. That's what the clothes that he wore. It was always some sort of brightly striped clothes. So you choose bright colors, striped colors to give a cloak, right? Also, when Moses came down from the mountain, his face shone because he spoke to God. So his face did not have his normal color, a nice olive color. It was bright. His hair also turned white. His brown hair turned white. So I want you to use your colors, right? His beard remains white. His face was yellow. It was bright. I want you to give his clothes, striped clothes, and these are the stones. Yeah, these are the 10 commandments. Some of you might want to put some words there. Go ahead, that's fine. All right. Here now, I'm preparing for the texture of the mountain. This is glue. Okay, when I say texture, so we are doing mixed media. So the first media we used were crayons or colored pencils. Now we are getting ready from another medium. Okay, so when we talk about medium, it's what it is we use for art. Right. So the next thing we used was paper, brown paper. So fine brown paper, right? This was from my flower bag, any brown paper, crumple it up, tear it in bits, and it was stuck on the mountains, right? Stuck on the mountain under the clouds. So all here was the mountain. Now below the mountain was grass. I used green colored pencils to finish color. And I used pieces of cardboard and just cut it into squares, little squares, right? Like this. And just, these are little squares, and fold it in half like this and stuck it to look like tents, right? So I want you to first work on the mountain. Let me get a final picture. I want you to get the brown paper, tear it up, crumple it here because you want to make that mountain look rugged because it was a rough, rugged terrain. You couldn't walk up on that easily but God wanted to be in a special place only with Moses. Nobody else could go up there. Joshua went partway, but Moses is the one who went up there, right? And I want it looking rough. So you're not sticking it flat, you're just crumpling it up, tearing it, and you're sticking it all around Moses, all right? Now below, before you stick this, you will color your grass. Notice how I colored up and down, up and down, up and down, because you want it to look like grass. And then I took bits of, I used any board that I had home. I had packages and I cut it and fold it in half. These are tents. So what you're doing is just taking a normal rectangle, you're cutting it, and you're just folding it like this. You folding it like this and then just sticking it in that shape. So it looks like tents. And the tents represent all the people who were following Moses. Don't put it on the words around. So girls, this is called mixed media. So we use colored pencils and I use bits of found items to stick on it. I used it so it gives the word dimension. We are seeing the roughness of Mount Sinai. We're seeing the flat grass, and on the flat grass, we are seeing the tents. You see how it's folded to give you that pop-up look. All right? Okay. Lastly, I forgot this slide. I used some, let me click to exit, stop share. Right. This is the final piece. The final piece, I took some paint with a lot of water and just painted the sky around it. Okay, so this is what my work looks like. This is what your work will look like. And this type of art is called mixed media. So here you see with what's nice, what is great about mixed media. It allows your work to come forward. So my background is the normal sky, and that sky is a little bit of blue paint and a lot of water because I don't want that sky, I don't want that to be the main focus of our image. I want that sky faded in the background, so it must be light. My crayons and my colored pencils makes that cloud pop because I want to show that the people and all, they saw that brightness in the cloud. They saw that dense cloud and they knew that that was God and Moses talking there. I want the texture of Mount Sinai, and I hope and I wish that you will get to go and see Mount Sinai. This is an actual place, it's not just a story. It's the place where Moses and God, they spoke. And I want you to aspire to talk to God and hear his voice, hear him talking to you and giving you instructions, right? And these are the tents below. It's just a small rectangle that you fold in half so it pops. Okay, so here we see the message. This is a poster, right? So if you have to do a poster, you can use mixed media. The words are telling you a story, right? And if you read the story, you go back over the video. I sent the video for you all on Moses and his journey. The whole poster tells the story. So girls, we are all journeying in Lent together. And the beauty about the journey of Lent is to help us to be a better person. In our talking to God, we are living in a time where we need to pray for each other, pray for our friends, pray for our families, and that's through just talking to God. Just talk to him. Pray for our country and pray for our world, peace in our world, that his Holy Spirit will just come and bring calm and peace to everything. So we are living in COVID. So back to our face mask on. Don't forget, you always hold it at the end, right? Making sure your nose and your mouth is covered. Okay? Adios, girls.